the U.S. opened the door and invited Russia in to take over Eastern Europe at the end of World War II. That's what today's history video is about. I don't know if you had a chance to see last week's history video, but go back and watch it if you haven't. It's about how Eisenhower in World War II chose to maintain a broad front against the Germans and advance in tandem with the British and American forces, and how that slowed the advance, postponed the end of the war by about 6 months, and inflicted almost 500,000 unnecessary American casualties and British casualties and French. And it also gave the concentration camps 5 or 6 extra months to work. Well, this video picks up where that left off. After Eisenhower had crossed the Rhine, Montgomery begged for the troops to make a dash to Berlin. Montgomery was the closest to Berlin. He had the northern sector. Patton and Hodges and Collins, the other generals, had the southern sector, which was much wider. And the German resistance had collapsed. It was absolutely falling apart. Once they got defeated at the Rhine, they had nothing left. And Montgomery begged for a fast dash to Berlin. And he probably could have gotten to Berlin before the Russians did. And Eisenhower refused. And Eisenhower passed the border that the presidents had agreed upon at Yalta, that would divide East Germany, the Russian zone, from West Germany, the American, British, and French zone. He passed the border with his troops and went right into the middle of the future East Germany to link up with the Russian forces coming from the east. And then he withdrew. He pulled right back to the demarcation zone we had promised to the Russians. Churchill went ballistic. He begged Truman, begged Eisenhower, please don't withdraw now. Use this extra mileage and occupy Berlin as leverage to get free elections in Poland and the rest of Eastern Europe, and to make sure that there isn't a satellite puppet state set up in East Germany. Truman said, no, Stalin is our ally, we're going to get along with him, we're not going to start any antipathy. Eisenhower agreed with him, and we withdrew to the demarcation line. Had we stayed in place, done nothing more than stay in place, and of course, had we authorized Montgomery to take Berlin, we would have had valuable bargaining chips, and we could have told Stalin, you have free elections in Poland, you pull your troops out of Poland, or we're sitting right where we are, and you're not going to get into Berlin, and you're not going to get half of East Germany. Why were the Russians so keen on getting East Germany? Because under the reparations agreement, they could loot East Germany for reparations, and they did. They took every moving piece of factory and farm equipment and anything you could find in East Germany and moved it over to Russia, absolutely raped it. We didn't do the same in West Germany, but they devastated East Germany. And if we had not withdrawn, they would have had only about a half or a quarter of East Germany. It was a fatal miscalculation by Truman and by Eisenhower, and Churchill saw it right. And Truman and Eisenhower deserve the condemnation of history for that, or at least of my videos. Now, on Tuesday, I have a piece of modern history coming out. Eileen and I have written a new book called Screwed, how foreign governments like China and Pakistan and the European Union are ripping off the United States, plundering our economy, and how our leaders are helping them do it. We'll talk more about it next week. But if you go to dickmorris.com right now, you can order it, and you'll probably get it the day it comes out, Tuesday or Wednesday. And while you're there, click on the banner where I'll send you a free, signed, personalized bookplate made out in my own illegible handwriting. I've been writing them all week, and believe me, it gets worse with each bookplate. Thanks a lot for watching.